was always tangled. Always tangled. Bro, I need to stop hitting the live button before I'm ready. Ooh, that was loud. Hello. I see you. I see you. I always hit live before I'm like 100% ready, because if I don't, I'll just find other things I need to do before I hit the button. So, and I can't hear the music, so. I don't even know what's playing. We're gonna watch the internet. Ooh! I just brushed my teeth. That does not taste good together. Blah. Blah, 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 blah. Well, hey, Sack Juggalo, how are you doing? Long time no see. I hope you're well. I hope you're doing amazing. I need to actively go search out your content because it doesn't show up on my feed. And I don't know why. Well, I don't check the feed, but like notifications don't come down. It's weird. Super weird. I hope you're doing well. Doing all the things. Doing all the well things. What is playing? Let's see. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. We're gonna watch the internet. Good. I'm glad you're live. Otherwise, it'd be really weird that you're in the chat. I mean, I wouldn't be mad about it, but I would be a little bit kind of freaked out. We'd have a whole conversation. I'd bring you up here. We could talk, and you can tell me what it's like. I haven't put my hair down yet. My sweatshirt is cold here, and it's supposed to be like 80 tomorrow, and then it's supposed to be like 90 the day after. It's wild. This weather just needs to like chill. No, not chill because it's cold. Like settle down. Like it's doing the absolute most or the absolute least. I should have done my nails. I know that's so stupid for me to say, but I got some cool stuff to watch. I think I did a video this morning, and then I'm like, I'm gonna try and do a whole live stream like in the evening, because usually it's in the morning because I'm a morning person and I like to get stuff done, and I don't stay up late because I go to work really early. I start my day like at 3. Like I get up and do stuff, and then I work. So I haven't really been going live late. I've been going live early. And so I thought I'm going to try and hook up with the people that are here in the evening. Mother Nature is confused. Yes. Mother Nature is like schizophrenic and a little bit wackadoo. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let me ping everybody in the server. I don't have my everyone's turned on for my server, but I ping everyone because I don't know. I want to. And for good measure, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to post it in here. I use the same thumbnail because why not? I'm tired of making new thumbnails. I'm tired of taking a picture every time and then having to try and put it into a thumbnail. And I'm like, y'all understand. I put the date, so you're welcome. You know, it's not the same thing. But we're going to watch the internet. Like, and I'm going to scroll through a couple things, and I'm not just going to do like videos. I'm going to like actually go on the internet. I might even do the AI, the chat GPT, or the character AI. I haven't decided. It's all up in the air. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. We can do all the things. I don't care if there's one person here. I don't care if there's 30 people here. We're going to do all the things. And we're going to have all the fun. I need my content for this week. And I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I made that video and I did that whole thing and I was really proud of myself. And then I'm like, shit, what am I going to do like Monday through Friday? I mean, I could do my reels, but I haven't had a lot to say, like randomly. I don't know. What's up, Bridget? Why you work so? I thought you worked super early. So why are you suddenly working late? AF. Or did you just work all the time and you never leave? I mean, that could be it. I wouldn't doubt that at all. I mean, I work. This is one of my work monitors, so I never leave work. I'm always here in this chair. And when I'm in this chair too long, like my legs get swollen and stuff because I'm old. You know, when you sit in one spot for long enough. Now my leg itches. Ow. But yeah. And I was talking to Cliff this morning and I was like, and I had this sweatshirt on because I had just come inside. And I was like, when I wear really light colors, you can actually see my skin tone. But when I wear dark, like I have underneath, I'm completely like bleached white. Which, I mean, I'm not mad. I mean, I am white, but I'm just saying, like, I'm this color when I wear black. But when I wear light colors, you can see that I have a skin tone. Oh. What's up, Austin? I was working earlier today. They're like, oh, we don't need you. And then they're like, can you come in? Can you like clock in and do a couple things? I'm like, okay. I was like, now, or do you want me to wait till you're done, like, sending me stuff? And they're like, no, that's all. We're going to put a pin in that because. And what's up, Austin? How did your camping trip go? I hope we had a good time. You missed a really good live, though, yesterday. That was really, really good. So, yeah. I'm going to finish my energy shot because it's, you know, I'm close to my bedtime, y'all. Like, I usually, like, pretty much wind down at, like, 8, and I go to bed at, like, 9. And I'm, like, if I don't go to sleep on time, I'm screwed. And I'm up all freaking night. What's up, Mario? Chef Mario. Is that, like, Dr. Mario? What, a cheficus? Ironically, I don't really eat hamburgers because I don't eat red meat. You'd think I would, but I just don't. I eat chicken nuggets. That's literally like all I eat ever. I had some mac and cheese. I made mac and cheese and chicken nuggets for dinner. I'm really proud of myself. Because I wanted to make something a little bit more intricate, and then I didn't feel like it. Well, you can keep the cooler temperatures. I'll take the hotter temperatures and you keep the cooler temperatures because the wind is just a lot right now. The wind is a lot. So I have stuff lined up. I have stuff that I saved. I went through this morning. By the way, huzzah. We hit 1,050 on the channel. Super excited about that. I told you, all the milestones. We got them all. We celebrate them all. We do all the things. I was just talking to Skulls a little bit ago. I can't eat sandwiches. I can't bite them. It's a whole thing. It's a thing. A lot of this stuff is kind of, I kind of focused a little bit just because I was down the dead internet theory kind of rabbit hole a little bit. It has to do with like technology and social engineering and things like that. So hey, Annette. Hey, honey. It's my mom. Hold on. Good question. Okay. Mom's important. Annette, what are you doing? I haven't heard from you in a minute. I think I sent you a message not too long ago, but I'm sure you responded. Because you were like near me, but not close to me. And I think maybe, oh wow. Was that the last time we talked? Thanks. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate it. It's been a long road, man. And you know, what's funny is that I've done it without doing, like, I don't do the music thing. Like, I had somebody actually ask me in the comments if I do music reactions, and I haven't responded. I should have. I was going to respond no. Just say no, you know? I just figured it was kind of obvious. And I don't even feel like... I like videos as a talking point. The whole purpose of the video is for me to speak on it. It's not necessarily to... It's not for the surprise factor or anything. It's just... It's a talking point, in my opinion. So if that's considered a reaction, I guess I kind of do reactions, but I don't know. My cat is harassing my daughter. I hear her yelling at him. I was watching some stuff earlier. I don't know why I enjoy the downfall of like influencers, especially ones where like I would never watch their content because I'm like, mm. And if you guys were here a couple lives ago, I make it very clear if there's something I don't like, I'm gonna say so. And I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings, but it is what it is. If I don't like it, I don't like it. And if it's something I'm just not into, cool. And cruise, of course you did. Of course you did. Power nap. You know, I tried to take a nap earlier, but you know, I get paranoid because my kid's home. So I don't end up. I think I sleep for like 15 minutes, and then I'm like spending the next half an hour waking back up. It's dumbness. But yeah, I've got some stuff. And here's what's funny is when I go back and look at the list of stuff that I have, I kind of feel kind of sort of like I don't know if I really want to do this stuff. So I might go a little bit on the internet instead of just videos and like go down a rabbit hole researching and just like looking into something. There is one video. I actually talked to Mr. Elboyd. He reacted to a video that I was really interested in, and I wanted to see what he said, but I actually want to watch the video before I go watch what he said. And so I messaged him and I was like, listen, I'm not trying to like, tag along with your content. Would you be cool if I did a video on the video that you did a video on, knowing full and well that you did it and that I obviously got it from you doing it, but I haven't watched it yet. And he's like, yeah, of course. I love Mr. Elboyd. He's awesome. He's been a friend for a really long time. Who else did I talk to? I talked to JK Brothers. I talked to them. JK Bros. I talked to, I think Joey Sparks was playing Fortnite last night. Who else? I could go through my phone, but obviously I'm not doing that right now. Talked to Truth last night. I heard something about a quantum chip, but I also heard something about pulling a quantum chip. Okay, so I'll tell you guys kind of what I have on the books today. By the way, do if you remember the one that I did about Professor Snape, do you guys think I should post that, or do you think that it was just kind of all over the place? I couldn't find anything from that live that I wanted to repost, but if you guys thought that was kind of a good deal, then I might repost that one. Obviously the videos that I do that are more about me just talking versus the content creator that has a huge fan base, they don't do as well as like my food stamp one hasn't done as well as some of the other ones. Maybe it will pick up. I don't know. But I'm okay with that. So I don't know. I don't know if that was a subject that you guys liked and think that other people would like. Just because we do it on the live doesn't mean that it's necessarily content that anyone's going to click on if they see it. I don't know. And, and I have to rewatch it, because I clip up the silent spots and then I have to rewatch to make sure that I don't accidentally cut myself off in the middle of a word or something. I did a conspiracy theory this morning. I posted it. I did the dead internet theory. I found a good video and I did all my commentary and I really liked that video. I really liked the food stamp one. That one's posted. I don't mind doing controversial. I don't mind. I don't generally get a lot of hate yet for my controversial stuff. The stuff basically that I'm not supposed to talk about because the boxes that I check or don't check. So that kind of stuff I have no problem doing. So I guess I'll repost that one. I'll have to pull it. The way it records, it gives me just like a time and then I try to cat fuzz. And then I have to go back. It doesn't matter. You guys don't even know all that. So I basically have Hollywood breaks up with DEI. I don't know how long. I think that was I put this into my thing to watch later at 3:59 a.m. if that tells you what I'm doing at 3 o'clock in the morning. 3:45, Mozilla rewrites Firefox terms of service. I was going to talk about that only because I think people should be aware of kind of what's going on with that and why it's such a big deal and why people lost their ever-loving minds and why it prompted Mozilla to rewrite it, because it's important. Terms of service matter, just FYI. I have the Gutfeld Hollywood breaks up DEI. I've seen in passing his content, I think, but I don't ever watch Fox News. I don't watch news, so I just happened to see it and it looked like something interesting. Okay, there's an Instagram post that I wanted to talk about because I even put, and this was at 4:32 this morning, I put the purpose of why I was posting that, so I have that one. There's excessive phone and screen use tied to manic symptoms for one group. I don't know what group that is. I don't even know if I'm gonna get into that one, but we'll see. Human brain cells power first commercially available biocomputer. I guess I was down a technology rabbit hole, y'all. Can you tell? Oh, here was a good one. I was starting to get into kind of social engineering because if you guys didn't know, part of the dead internet theory is the conspiracy piece of it is, and I said this in the video, the conspiracy piece of it is basically that the purpose of maneuvering the internet with bots and automated content is for the purpose of social manipulation and social engineering. In other words, to sway opinions. And I think I said it in the video where I said if you have like 5 people and you have 4 people that are all doing the same thing, that 5th person's probably going to go along to get along. And if 3 or 4 out of the 5 are bots, that one human doesn't know and they go along with whatever the majority, right? So that's a whole thing. So I have I saw something about back in the 80s, I think it was the 80s, a former KGB agent talks about how they had a long game planned to manipulate the United States socially, and some steps that they took that they were planning to take. He was in the psychological department to forward that movement. So I have that video here. I also have social engineering, the art of hacking humans. You can tell I was down a rabbit hole. And it's funny because the comments, actually have a screenshot of the comments because comments are hilarious on this video. And then I have another one where I kind of, like I said, in case I want to do something different, the art of human hacking. And then I had a penguins, zero, dead internet theory is real, where he says, but I think it has to do with when Meta added a bunch of profiles that were AI. I think that's what that was. I'm not sure because I see Facebook and Instagram logos on the front of it. How to master social engineering in just 13 minutes without getting caught. I was like, well, that's interesting. And then the one that I talked to Mr. L. Boyd about, which is the guy came out of a 12-year coma and what he's told amazed everyone. So what did he see? What does he remember? I don't know. I don't know what to expect. You know? I also was thinking, I don't like scary. I might do it. I might do some scary content. Like, I don't like scary videos where things jump scare me. Like, I don't like that because then I like get all creeped out. But I was kind of like people explaining the unexplained. I'm obsessed with cults and things. So there's a lot of stuff to get into. Those are the ones I added at like 5 o'clock this morning. What's up, morning masterpiece? Also, for the record, just a disclaimer. I will still talk to the chat while I'm recording during like these things. I have noticed that it makes me feel better to kind of intro what I'm doing. And someone in the comments had specifically said, if you kind of gave us an idea of what the hell was going on, that would help with the video. It would have been, the video's good, but if, basically I feel like I'm just dropping people in and randomly hitting the record button and they just feel like they're in the middle of a conversation they don't know. So I'll probably do some sort of a start point. And then if you guys have noticed, I'll say that I'm putting it in the description and tell me if I say, tell me what you think, and I point, I'm talking about the end of the video. So, or we could scratch all of that. We could browse the internet. We could browse TikTok. We could browse Instagram. I hate browsing those because copyrighted music can get me nailed. Or we can talk to AI. So we could do everything. But I'll have to pick a couple. I know. It's a lot. And I talk. I've been on here for 20 minutes. I'm still talking. See, now I feel bad because I used to be like, let's go. Let's get started. And then I realized I've been talking for 20 minutes. Sorry. Anyway, does anybody have any preference to where to start? If you guys heard something you wanted to see, if not, I'll just eeny, meeny, miny this or whatever. Excuse me. Whew. I just brushed my teeth. That does not taste good. With toothpaste. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. I lost a subscriber between the time I started and now, so apparently people don't like to hear me ramble. You can't take it back. I already hit the 1,050. You can't take it away. It happened, okay? It was there. Yeah, boo on them. They unsubscribed. Rude. I'm not mad. If they don't want to be here, I'd rather them just go. Okay. The bot one? I don't know which one that is. What's the bot one? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Oh, do you mean the one about Facebook? Is that what you mean? That's something I mentioned in the video this morning. I talked about that. I made that up. I said if there's five people online, and one of them's human, and the likelihood of the rest of them being either like 4 or 3 or 4 out of 5 being bots, then people will probably go that direction. I said that earlier. The social engineering thing, but there's like 6 different social engineering ones. So there's a reel in here that I don't even know what it is. Hold on. Oh, this is cool. Okay, this is a good something. Whew. It's really loud. Hold on. What part of like pause does it not understand? Oh, so you can't like manipulate the video in if I can find it on YouTube. Ah, I found it. Cool. I found it. So I can actually watch it on YouTube, which is so much easier. I swear. Yeah. Anyway. I didn't realize that that's what was playing right now. Why does my phone keep going on? Okay. And I'm not going to record this. I'm just going to show you guys. This is something really cool that I thought that you guys would like. I just saw it and I thought it was super cool. Okay. So this is saying unlocking the secrets of light speed. It's basically they slowed down light to 8,300 frames per second. So this will actually demonstrate to you what a big difference that makes. And I've seen this. I saw this on Instagram today. So I'm going to watch it real quick. I just thought it was interesting.
In 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Do you see how fast that went? It was like that, right? Can I make this like full? It's a short. Of course, it's not full screen. Oh, there. I put it full screen. Tell me I can't do it. Let me show you.
In 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so like that. It's all the way through. Now watch. This is so cool. So they slow it down a little bit. Right? Slower. Watch this. This is the coolest thing. Look how long it takes to go through that. Look at all the different... It's wild. Jeez Louise. It's still going. It went all that way like that the first time. And then boom, it hits the balloon.
In 3.
Isn't that crazy? And now look at, watch what it did, how fast it did at the beginning. It literally went all of those little squiggle marks, all of that whole track. It went that whole way like that. I just was like, the universe is crazy. Crazy. All right. Like I said, I can go down some rabbit holes. Let me check this off of my list. I want to see how long this video is. Hold on.
Stop
That's a commercial.
ChatGPT. Its information is not reliable, and you can't.
Okay, I get it, bruh. It's 10 minutes long. Okay, so this is Social Engineering, the Art of Hacking Humans. It's a TED Talk. Does anybody care about it? You know what? I care about it. I care. If I care, it matters. I matter. No, but I want to watch this video. It's from TED Talks. Don't think I've ever purposefully watched a TED Talk in my life. Like, I've heard of them and I've seen pieces of them, but I've never sat and watched any of them. But this one seems cool because it's called Social Engineering, the Art of Hacking Humans by Prasad Sawant, I guess is his name. I know I butchered that. I probably butchered that worse than Truth does. And that's saying a lot. Because he can't pronounce anything. So anyway. I guess I'll make myself smaller. I'm a little bit big on the screen here. You don't need to see my face that big. All right. All right. Well, let's see what he has to say. Okay. So I just want you to know that I am prepared. I don't know what he's going to say, but I am prepared for him to have an accent because the comments are wild. They're hilarious. They're like, this is that guy from every tutorial that actually solves my problems. I recognize his voice. Whatever he's saying, he's right. Okay, so then what I did was when I saw that comment, I was like, okay. So I hit play and then like 2 seconds and I'm like, oh, okay. I get what the joke is. I get it. All right. Oh, it's probably really low.
Do you guys know what is the weakest link in cybersecurity?
That comment, the context. This is the voice of the person who solves any problem, like all the do-it-yourself on YouTube. This is what they sound like. Whatever he says, it's right. That comment has a lot more context now, doesn't it? That was so bad. So bad.
Do you guys know what is the weakest link in cybersecurity? It is not the device you use.
It's
It is
human.
not the operating system you use.
It's humans.
It is not even the antivirus or firewall you use. The weakest link in cybersecurity are you guys, the human beings.
I won. Did I get a prize?
Around 95% of cyber attacks happen due to human error. See, hacking is a difficult process. There's a lot of technical expertise and knowledge involved in a hacking attack. So what hackers do is, instead of hacking, what they do is they use an easier yet more effective way, which is known as social engineering. Social engineering, in simple words, is the art of manipulating people so that they give away their personal information. What hackers do is,
I mean, when you have someone's personal information, you basically have them. You know what they do, where they go, what they look at, what they watch, what they're thinking, what they're more likely to decide, like what's their next step, if they're going to vote, how they're going to vote, like what they're going to approve of, what they won't, if they're going to support you, if they won't. You know everything. If you can get their personal data, that's why the data is so important. Everybody's like, oh, it's no big deal. It's an app. I'll just sign it off. Sure. Yeah, do that. I mean, nobody reads the terms of service. Don't even pretend like you do. None of us do. None of us do. The only terms of service I know backwards and forwards is like Discord and some of YouTube, not very much of YouTube, because it's so intricate and there's like 8,000 pages and updates. It's wild. I couldn't even imagine somebody being an expert in it. I don't think there is such a thing. Anyway, just saying.
People so that they give away their personal information. What hackers do is, they don't hack into systems. They hack into humans so that humans give away their information. Generally, a social engineering attack consists of 4 phases. The first phase is preparation or footprinting. In this stage, the hacker gathers information about the victim. And social media has made it very easy for the hacker to gather information about the victim.
Okay, I'm gonna say something real quick. And here, guys, this is where I am me. I'm bored stiff. I'm bored. I'm sorry. He seems like a really nice guy. He really does. And like, this is something that is super technical and I get it. And I guarantee you that it's very informational, but I just can't. I can't do it. We're going to go do a different one. Now do you see why I can't do music reactions? Because people would lose their minds. Okay, but what do you want me to say? She's bored. Are you really going to leave that open so Felix can come harass me? Really? I don't mind the topic, but I just feel like this is just the less interesting and kid version. Like, it's like they dumbed down this to train us every year at work. And I see that you said that. I kind of feel like that. I guarantee there's some great information. I guarantee I'm that person that I will go to the more button and I'll hit the transcript. And so I'll tell you what the 4 things are. Social engineering, impersonation, emotional leverage. You guys can figure that out. So basically social engineering, they're going to get you to give your data, I guess. They impersonate you and then they use your emotions against you. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, I feel. I just thought that comment was great. Okay. So master social engineering or The art of human hacking. I'm going to do one or the other. So let's do the art of human hacking. It looks kind of...
Are you really the last person to find out about this Skip Ads Forever button?
Yes.
This is Pi, and if it sounds familiar to you, it's probably because...
Oh. Okay. So this video is called The Art of Human Hacking. And I'm going to read the description to see if this is something that... I'm hoping they don't mean like literally hacking and like making you move around like a robot. Like, I wouldn't think. Have you ever wondered how hackers and con artists manage to trick even the smartest people? Breaks down the mind-boggling tactics used by criminals to exploit human psychology and gain access to sensitive information. I guess social engineering is a little bit on the side of like more using and abusing your data. Okay. So, I mean, why not, right? Okay. So this is by Artificially Aware. It says this is an Artificially Aware original production. So this is their video. Artificially Aware. Okay. Well, let's see. Is that really loud for you? It's really loud to me. I can turn myself down if I need to, if it's too loud. But I'm going to turn myself down. Because that like blew my eardrums. That was a little bit much. Okay. I want to learn something. Teach me. Oh.
What if I told you that the most secure doors in the world aren't being broken down? They're being politely opened from the inside.
Well, yeah.
That everything from a harmless hobby forum to your Facebook likes is ammunition for a criminal to crawl into your life without you noticing. Well, buckle up, carbon-based creatures. You're about to find out that your worst enemy isn't a hacker punching through firewalls. It's your own need to trust and connect. And I found this all out by accident after falling headfirst into Christopher Hadnagy's Social Engineering, the Art of Human Hacking. One click led to another, and there I was, sucked into the maddening vortex of how easily humans can be manipulated, twisted, and turned inside out without even knowing it.
For the record, his the words, the captions, like the captions that he's using as the video are not quite in sync. I don't know if that's on purpose or not. I'm not 100% sure. This is a subject I talk about all the time where I talk about, you know what? Changed my mind. Y'all, I told you it's going to go everywhere. I'm going to do something. I'm going to teach you guys about the TikTok algorithm. That's what I'm going to do. I talk about it constantly. It's time to do it. We're doing it. I'm doing it. I'm going to try and find the video that I've seen. It's by... it's by, I'm trying to think what it's by. Don't play with me. I know it's by the same ones that do, hold on. I got to look through my subscriptions. Give me a second. It's me way back. Can I search my subscriptions? We're going to learn about YouTube right now. All subscriptions. I just clicked that. Oh, it's loading. Oh, shit. What does that tell me? Most relevant? No. A to Z. I know what letter it starts with. So, oh. I said A to Z, but then it's not A to Z, but okay. I have a point, a slight point to what I'm trying to do. I'm unsubscribing for people. As I scroll down, I'm like, this is a lot of people. And I'm like, I'm going to unsubscribe. It's like 6 of them I just unsubscribe from. Like when I don't know who they are, I just unsubscribe. I'm like, I don't remember who you are. I don't know who they are either. I'm serious. Where is it? I'm going to find it. Whatever it takes. Don't play with me. And as soon as I find it, I'm going to be like, oh, I can't believe I didn't remember it. Damn, these are some old people that don't make content anymore. Some of them. Damn. Okay. This is going to drive me crazy, guys. It's like, aha, found it. I found it. I knew I would. I found it. Found it. What's up, David? That's fine. Thank you for being here, Wallflower. Hi, by the way. And I see that video. I do see. I have like a very there's a very specific reason. This is a really, really long video, but I want to bring up a couple points. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. I'm going to skip through it because I have seen the video. I'm going to show you guys. So this video is called The Insane Truth About TikTok. It's by Magnates Media. I've seen this. I went down a rabbit hole on their playlist and I watched everything. Like, not everything, but most things. This is one of the first ones and I absolutely adored it. And it really opened my eyes to kind of how it works. It's super interesting. This is the kind of content
with hotels and vacation rentals
that I wish that I could like watch with a buddy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like where we could like sit in a room and all watch together from across the internet. So this is I'm going to show like the intro and then I'm going to jump in a couple of I'm going to jump around a little bit, like skip forward. I'm not going to watch 40 minutes of video. I don't think that makes sense because, you know, I talk a lot and we'll end up being here for like 17 hours. And I'm not doing that because sleep and nicotine. Okay. So this is called The Insane Truth About TikTok. Magnates Media is going to be below. I'm going to put all the links and all the things. I haven't seen this in like, it's probably like, I don't know how old this is. 3 years ago. So this is, by the way, this information is from 3 years ago. If you look here, oh, you can't see, I'm in the way. You'll see it says 3 years ago. I'm being completely transparent. The point is that this is still relevant. This is all still relevant because once you understand how it works, and this is one of the best videos I've ever seen on this subject. Once you understand how it works, then you understand kind of where I'm coming from with some of the things that I say. It confirms a lot of things. And maybe it's an echo chamber. Maybe I like it because it confirms what I was thinking. I don't know. You guys tell me, you know, let me know. It's got a lot of views over 3 years. I mean, it's very well done. Like I said, I am going to skip around. So, oh, I have it on mute. Sorry.
To ban it altogether.
We're looking at TikTok. We may be banning TikTok.
Okay, so remember,
TikTok had already been banned in India, losing them 200.
Okay, so I know this is a fact because I know that like CapCut is banned in India because I know people in India. And when I said something about CapCut, I asked, was that we were talking editing? And I said something about CapCut. They're like, we can't use that in India. It's been banned. And I'm like, oh, well, I didn't know that. There's a reason. It's because it's for the same reasons that Trump was wanting to talk about regulating it here in the United States. This video goes into detail as to why and make your own conclusions, but they talk about like the reason behind it. And you would come to the same conclusion, to be honest. It's because of the whole TikTok ban. This was 3 years ago. So this was in the end of his, it's been longer than that, but like this was regarding his last term, right? Because it was a big talking point. You have to understand. Okay, so I'm going to say this, and this is my disclaimer, sort of, kind of. This is my take on that. So a lot of people are like, well, Trump wanted to ban TikTok. And this video will show some of the reasons, like what's behind it and why it can be potentially so harmful. Okay. He saved it with a caveat. Okay. So he's the king of the deal. So he doesn't necessarily take off the table the option to negotiate to get what he wants for the country, for us, right? He's going to make the best deal possible. And if he has to have leverage, he will have leverage. If he says, look, you can come back, but we're going to talk about this. And once you see how outraged, how many people flock away from your application, you're going to understand that you're going to want these people to stay. And the only way to get them to stay is to not just keep coming and going and leaving and coming back. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about the deal. It's all about leverage, in my opinion. I don't know. I am not in any way, shape, or form on his staff. I don't fucking know. I'm not in his head. But the thing is that like the issue had a lot to do with people abusing these apps, and a lot of things that they're finding out right now, I think, from what I'm understanding, a lot of things that they're finding out that are being funded by our tax dollars has to do with the sway and like pushing a specific narrative. And people are like, oh no, that would never happen. Well, then why are you subsidizing Politico subscriptions, but using tax dollars to get people to have a lower cost to subscribe to a news outlet that is very, very on one side or the other? Like, it's just a lot of that stuff. And it was wild, wild west for sure at that point. So anyway, that being said, it's neither here nor there. This is 3 years ago. So this is not necessarily saying today that him saying I'm banning TikTok happened. So don't anybody get their panties in a twist and go running off to the red note or whatever. If you want to, go watch my video on that and then do what you want to do. If you want to do all that, better you than me. I'll just put it that way. Anyway, back to the video.
100 million users overnight. Now, TikTok was at the center of an international feud with users and governments all around.
So India banned TikTok. They banned ByteDance, which is TikTok and CapCut and all the other companies that are under ByteDance, which is the parent company to all of these. Okay. They lost 200 million users because India is a really, 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 really heavily populated country, and now they're not allowed to use it. So that's what he's saying.
On the world asking the same question. Can we trust TikTok? Zhang was simultaneously being called a spy by the Americans and a traitor by the Chinese.
Okay, so this is the guy that owns the company. He's the one who started the company. He's the original dude. Okay, he's the original guy. So the Chinese company is like, it should all be in China. It should all be under China. And the United States is like, you're trying to spy on us. You're trying to steal our stuff. Like, so.
And
I don't know why I'm over explaining. I'm sorry.
Other accusations were flying around from all directions. TikTok is a data collection service thinly veiled as a social network. It's secretly loaded with surveillance software against the disabled. It's essentially malware which targeting children. TikTok is and reminded himself that despite all of the negative media attention that TikTok was getting, business was going incredibly well. If you added up the combined revenue of Twitter, Zoom, Dropbox, Lyft, Snapchat, Shopify, Airbnb, Stripe, Groupon, and Spotify all together, it still wouldn't be as high as the revenue of ByteDance.
The parent company. Did you hear all of those companies? combined would still not even come close to the revenue of this company, which is, by the way, owns TikTok and ByteDance. And that was 3 years ago. Crazy, right?
The company's biggest product by far is TikTok, which in less than 4 years has passed 3 billion global downloads. But ByteDance are now working on several other apps that perhaps have even bigger potential. They already make more money than Netflix, have around double the employees of Facebook.
By the way, if you didn't know, Netflix actually just recently, I think, started breaking even, but now they're back, like, not really making that much money. You think that they would, but they pour all of their money into their original content. So that's a whole thing.
And are expanding worldwide at an unprecedented speed. And yet, how much do you really know about ByteDance? Sure, you've seen TikTok promoted everywhere and possibly use it yourself.
Do you hear this music? This is like really like you're getting geared up for like a really big reveal. I'm telling you, this video is awesome. I will never forget it. I've mentioned this in live streams and on content for like a year and a half. So,
but did you ever stop to think how this simple Chinese video app suddenly took over the world? You see, if you're like me and had dismissed TikTok as just a cringy app for kids lip syncing and dancing, you're wrong. In less than a decade, ByteDance have gone from a 4-bedroom apartment in China where the electricity kept cutting out to becoming a global empire that is shaping not just social media, but technology, politics, and much, much more. The inside story of how it happened is incredibly inspiring and fascinating. But make no mistake, America's tech giants are terrified of ByteDance. And the real question is, should you be terrified too?
ooh. Goals, making videos like this. This is like everyone's goal. This is my goal. I'm going to skip around, by the way.
This is what Ivy League universities you can get in.
Okay, so some of the background I'm going to skip around on because I don't feel like it's relevant for this conversation. Basically, I'll give you the gist of it. Basically, dude had like an app and then, you know what, I'll let them say some of it. I'll paraphrase, but so it starts in China.
ByteDance is an app factory. Whilst TikTok is by far their most successful app, when the company launched in 2012, they created 12 different apps within just a few months. These included titles such as Laugh So Much You'll Get Pregnant and Real Beauties, Everyday 100 Beautiful Girls. At this point, it was hard to imagine the colossal impact ByteDance was going to have on the world. In fact, they were even struggling to hire people because of the lowbrow reputation they developed early on. The company's founder, Zhang Yiming, always had big plans. He was inspired by business magnates like Steve Jobs and had a dream of one day building a global company that was as borderless as Google. This was an even more ambitious goal than it sounds, because China essentially operates a separate internet to the rest of the world.
Okay, this is super important. This is something that I think people, and this is what I was talking about when I talked about Red Note. This is what I'm talking about. They are fully regulated. Okay, you have to follow their restrictions. They have full control. Full control. There is no free speech. There is none of that. That's not a thing. Okay, they run their own, and the government has 100%. Every single piece of what they want to say and do, they will regulate. And if you don't, just saying.
World. Big platforms we all know, like YouTube and Facebook, are banned in China. And likewise, internet companies that start in China almost never manage to take their services worldwide. So Zhang knew that to defy the odds and build a global empire, ByteDance needed to think bigger with the apps they were creating. Then, one day in 2012, he had an epiphany. While sat on a train, he noticed the decline in people reading newspapers and the sharp increase in phone usage, and deduced that we would soon get all our information from phones. But most importantly, he also realized that getting information from our phones meant we didn't have to rely on people to select the information for us. Through a combination of AI, big data, and machine learning, it would be possible to personalize the information to each individual.
It's called the algorithm. This is everything about TikTok that makes it so successful, that makes it so addictive, that makes it so everything that it is this algorithm.
And show them the content they personally are most interested in. And thus, ByteDance's next app was born, Toutiao, which translates as headlines. A news app with a powerful recommendation algorithm that provided a feed of news stories tailored to each user. Zhang said, "We want to become the information platform that understands you best. Uber matches people to cars, we match people to information." The idea was simple, but at the time, quite revolutionary. By tracking every single tap, pause, and swipe, ByteDance's algorithm was quickly able to understand users better than they understood themselves.
You understand how many micro movements that this thing catches. It catches a tap. It catches if you took too long. I don't know. Like, think about it. Like, you could really like affect your algorithm if you didn't swipe fast enough because maybe you were distracted by the cat walking by. And so it thinks that now you've spent 3 milliseconds on that content, which is more than you usually, because you swipe, right? You can literally affect your algorithm with those tiny little movements. They track your eyes. They track your eyes. They track your taps. They track how long you watch. They track what you watch. They track how long you watch it for. They track what you click and then get out of. They track every little micro thing that you do in order to cater to what you want, so that people are like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing everything that I want to see. That's the whole purpose. This is the entire purpose. But they're not doing it because they have a really great process. They're doing it because they're reading you better than you know yourself. They're all those things that you hide, all of the content that you scroll past, but you kind of started watching it and you're like, I'm going to watch this. They know. They know. Do you know what I'm saying? That video you watched 6 times because that dude was fucking hot. They were hot. If you got my reels today, you know what I'm talking about. Sea shanties will never be the same. They know.
Instead of just getting a random list of articles curated by someone else, the algorithm would be able to figure out exactly which news stories users would be most interested in and give them a unique, personalized feed. And the more they used the app, the more the algorithm learned about them, so the more accurate its recommendations became. As a result, it was very addicting and a huge success. So much so that other companies soon started copying the idea. And ByteDance knew they needed to keep innovating, or else a rival with a bigger budget would beat them. Luckily, Zhang had another epiphany. And this one wasn't just going to change the company, it was going to change the world.
Yep.
Why don't you own
Why don't I own an apartment building?
life your financial future?
It's reported that the average user of Headlines, the news app ByteDance created, spends 74 minutes per day on the app. Is this because people were suddenly more interested in news? Of course not. It's because if you design an incredibly smart algorithm that learns what people like and keeps giving them more of it, it's gonna get people hooked. But Zhang had realized, why stop at news and information? So they took the same addictive algorithm from their Headlines app and created a new app for short videos. Now, you're probably thinking this new video app was TikTok, and you're half right. In 2017, they launched the international version of TikTok we all know, and we'll get to that very soon. But in 2016, ByteDance launched Douyin, which is the Chinese version of TikTok.
They have a Chinese version of TikTok. And I've mentioned this before in the past, in passing, like when I talk about this, they have one. It is very differently set up than ours.
Same premise, same logo, same interface, but China has its own segregated version, which came first. And there's a few notable differences. Firstly, it had a section called Positive Energy, with
I don't see that on any of our apps. Do you guys see that on any of our apps where you can, it's part of the basic building blocks of the app where you can sit there and have say, you know what? I just need some positive energy, and it's right there. Of course not. Drama and stress sells.
Selected videos that promote the Chinese government. Secondly, it had advanced facial recognition, where you can search for videos by tapping a face, a feature which led to lawsuits when ByteDance considered introducing it on TikTok. The Chinese version also...
Oh, we didn't want that. We didn't mind them invading every other piece of every single thing that we do. But, you know, reading our face, even though we use our faces to unlock our phones and it records it constantly and we upload our faces to the internet and say, please save my facial structure for future AI, generative AI. Cool. But no, how could you search by face, which has been around forever.
Also makes people's skin appear lighter by default, in line with China's whitening obsession. In short, the Chinese version of TikTok is the same app with some major cultural differences. But one thing is very much the same on both versions: the powerful algorithm. It's unique because it isn't built around your social network. You don't have to friend, follow, subscribe, or even search for anything. You just open the app, start swiping, and the algorithm will get better and better at understanding which videos to show you. And because you consume so many short videos in just a few minutes, it gives the algorithm so much data about what content you do and don't like. You could watch 100 videos in a single session, as opposed to something like YouTube, where you may only watch a small handful. And since you're not reliant on your social circle for content, you'll never run out of interesting videos to watch.
So this is another issue that is coming up lately, and I've seen a little bit of stuff about this, which is that all the algorithms are now becoming algorithm based. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. These applications are becoming more algorithm reliant than subscriber or follower reliant. So like YouTube, you know, you subscribe to somebody and the purpose is that you like their content and you'd like to see more of it. And you like how they speak and what they say, things like that. Well, YouTube is learning that that's not necessarily working for and it's all about ads, ad revenue, right? So they're realizing that they have to use a recommend algorithm. And by using a recommend algorithm, you could subscribe, for example, you could subscribe to me, and you're not necessarily, when you open up your page, you're not necessarily going to see my content. You're going to see content that the app thinks you want to see first and foremost because it wants you to stay on the app. Now, how you reconcile that with, I would just rather watch the content from people that I want to support, that's not as important to these companies because it's all about ad revenue. They don't care if you purposefully want to support someone. They care that you stay on the app. So maybe you show up and you like the video and you to support somebody, but then you sit there and you go down a rabbit hole and watch, you know, Minecraft videos for 6 hours. Well, then you're only going to see Minecraft videos because it knows that's what keeps you on the app, you know? So instead of subscribing and then you get that content, you've noticed that the content is adjacent to something that you spent a long time watching. So if I post videos that aren't like my last video, then possibly you might not get another one of my videos because it's telling you that you like the content and not me. It's not about me anymore. That's the point. That's what a point I'm trying to make. It's not about us humans anymore. It's not about the personality and the charisma or the intelligence or the respect or responsibility or whatever. It's not about that. It's all about what's going to make you click. And they, as far as these apps are concerned, they could replace you with anybody or anything. It could be a box with a mouth sitting there talking to you, and it's perfectly fine as long as you stay watching. It's not about humans anymore. It's about what they can get you to stay on the app and watch. And I understand that some people have premium and they don't get ads. I don't have all the information. However, I do know that premium, that premium is basically, there's an agreement for ad revenue. They still get payment. It's a whole thing, and it's not a rabbit hole I can go down right now. But I do know that it still counts, but not the same. they want people to pay premium because it's a recurring guaranteed charge and it's more convenient. And then it's funny. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. It's something I could look into later, but I do know that it's kind of like Twitch where you get a less cut if they're it's a whole thing. Sorry. Like they put some of it towards the advertisers kind of to kind of offset that for the no ads. So anyway,
You're just one flick away from something totally random and new. Psychologists have found parallels between this and the effect of playing a slot machine in a casino. So, when you combine that with the never-ending scroll effect, which tricks our brains into not knowing when to stop using the app, it's easy to see why people get sucked in.
how fast do you stop watching when your app screws up? How fast do you stop watching when you go to do something and it doesn't function the way you want it to? And suddenly you're like, oh, well, you know what? And you go do something else. No, baby. No. Get down.
ByteDance even added a feature where when you press the back button, it shows you a new video. You have to double tap the button to actually get out of the app.
And it's hard to find these buttons sometimes because they minimize, they hide on the screen so you don't have access to them without actively. And then what happens to me is I go to swipe up to try and get to the buttons and it swipes the content and then I see a new, I'm like, I don't want that. I do not go on TikTok to watch videos. I post and ghost.
I'm addicted to TikTok now. I've just downloaded it myself and I can't take my
I kind of want to skip some of this. We don't need all of this.
7 to 8 hours. You just
And before you know it, 3 hours of your life.
You've heard of that where people are like, I didn't even know I just spent like 4 hours on TikTok. And I'm like, my daughter used to tell me that. Not my little one, but my older one. I'm like,
This is Wix Studio.
However, whilst ByteDance had no problem getting people to watch their new video app, they knew that an addictive algorithm was useless if they didn't have enough people creating videos as well. And thus, they launched a genius 5-part plan to get creators on board.
this is why people obsessively like TikTok, because the chance of you going viral is so high compared to anywhere else. Compared to anywhere else, the chance of you making it on TikTok is wildly, and this they're gonna explain how. Dude, get down. Get down. You're on my keyboard. Get down.
Step 1. Lower the barrier to entry. Competition on social media had become tough. Filming simple selfie videos was no longer enough to blow up on YouTube. You needed to learn how to use editing software, create thumbnails, and countless other things, which made it difficult for young new creators to get started. So, ByteDance made posting videos ridiculously easy, with built-in editing functions in the app.
I've never used a TikTok edit. I've never edited it or recorded a single video in the TikTok app ever. I've never done it. The only thing I've ever done is Instagram. I've done Reels, but then I found a different way because I don't like to have it in their app. I like to be able to edit it and splice it together and do my captions before I upload it on the app. It's my own quirk. I know that tons of people do. I'm getting hot in this sweatshirt, y'all. I might have to take it off in a minute.
You could even apply filters and add music to make the video immediately seem way more professional and interesting. Then, step 2, challenges. If you remember the viral Ice Bucket Challenge in 2014, well, so did ByteDance.
I've never participated in a TikTok challenge ever.
They realized that if they created challenges within the app that were easy for people to replicate, like a certain dance, it meant people didn't even have to think about original creative content. They could join in by just doing the challenge.
Listen to that one more time. Listen to what he says. And this is the type of statement that makes me super sad. Super sad.
Even have to think about easy for people to replicate, like a certain dance. It meant people didn't even have to think about original creative content. They could join in by just doing the challenge.
So you don't have to come up with a concept. You don't have to come up with an idea. You just mimic someone else and there's your content. I kind of sort of feel the same way about Stitches because You watch the entirety of the video and then you turn around and say, well, I didn't like that. And then I'm like, to me, that's useless. I'll just rather watch the video. Or the people, there's one person in particular that I see on Instagram all the time who has really great videos, except that he's on the video. If he was not on the video, I would watch them all because they're really great content. But he is like, ha, 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 oh, what? The whole time. And I'm like, shut up and let me watch the video. And I don't think he links the original video, so I can't ever find it. But yeah, how sad is that? They're encouraging. And this is the thing. This is how it happens. And I talk about this all the time. This is my conspiracy theory. This is my thing that I hate so much, is that we allow the dumbing down of content because everyone wants to make it. Everyone wants to get Insta famous. Everyone wants to get YouTube famous. Everyone wants to get TikTok famous. Everyone wants to be famous and go viral. I won't lie to you. I really don't. I don't think I could handle it. I think that people would come at me and I'd get all these hate comments and make me sad. I don't know. I don't think I could replicate it is my problem. So I don't think I could consistently pump out content that is going to go viral every single time. And therefore I would have like one viral video and then the rest would just be like, meh, meh. So anyway, but they're lowering the barrier to get in, to be a content creator. So you don't have to check all these boxes. You don't have to be able to do editing, all this stuff. They provide all that. All you have to do is be able to mimic a dance. And now suddenly you're a creator. And then listen to what they explain. They've dumbed it down and we accept it. And then we're like, well, why is all this content like so freaking dumb? This is why. Because people want so bad to get famous that they're willing to accept the low bar. And then by accepting the low bar, you've just pushed the bar down. So now why would anybody meet the high standard? Why?
Which then leads to step 3. Give them a taste of fame. If you look on any social media forums, you'll find plenty of people complaining about how hard it is to beat the algorithm with YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
It's true.
And in stark contrast, you'll find plenty of people raving about how easily their TikTok videos blew up.
I don't.
I literally gained like 1 million followers in about the space of like 6 weeks.
Basically, ByteDance realized that by sharing the love around a lot of creators, they'd attract way more people wanting to make videos for the app. It was like a new gold rush for everyone who had gotten late on other social media.
That's how they got
You could
everybody
join
in.
TikTok, and on your first video, rack up
Everyone will be using this.
There's a lot of ads on this video. Sorry, I don't have premium.
millions of views. And by giving creators a dose of fame and a hit of dopamine, it encouraged them to recruit more people to the app by telling their audience to come and follow them on TikTok. If you follow Gary Vee, you'll probably be very familiar with this.
TikTok.
But then ByteDance started to notice a bit of a problem. Making the barrier of entry so low meant they got an equally low quality of content. They had plenty of people posting videos, but a lot of it was just kids lip syncing or dancing to songs. So then came step 4 of the plan: bribe the top talent.
Influencers.
ByteDance messaged creative influencers with big followings on other platforms and offered to pay them to come and post on their app. They also reportedly went to art schools to find good-looking creative students and promised to make them famous.
Notice they said good looking. Good looking. Because far be it from anyone to be on social media and not be perfectly gorgeous. Like, and win. There's a standard there. It's amazing. The content standard has lowered significantly and the beauty standard has raised astronomically. There's no way in hell that I would even meet any of those standards. It just is not possible. But yet, I don't have the racy content that could offset me not looking like a superstar or like a model. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't do gimmicky shit. So that would offset and make people say, well, she looks like this, but she's quirky. So quirky balances it out, right? But they specifically targeted good-looking content creators from other platforms and paid them to come to TikTok and post. Because what happened was they lowered that bar and everybody's like, and they just sang along or they lip synced and people are like, oh my God, they lip sync. By the way, and the people that I know that do voiceover videos, like lip sync videos, I love you guys. I hate that shit. I can't stand it. I see no purpose for it. I don't understand why people record themselves mouthing things that they didn't say. I don't get it. They're not impersonating it. I don't personally don't understand. That's okay though. That's just not for me. But they lowered the bar so far that now they had shit content. So if anybody wanted to watch anything but lip sync and dancing, they had to come back to other apps. And they didn't want that. So they recruit the top pretty talent.
Once they'd attracted some
I mean, it makes sense, right?
higher quality content, they manipulated the algorithm to make sure it got a lot of views to try and improve people's perceptions of how.
Note what they just said. They manipulated the algorithm to make sure that those got more views. The whole purpose, the whole crux of the TikTok algorithm was that the bar is lowered and that anyone can make it on TikTok. That your video can make it even if you don't have a big following, because it's about like new posts have the same chance as like any other of the 10,000 that posted that minute to get seen on somebody's feed. Right. But if you're manipulating the algorithm to push these influencers, you're trying to raise the bar. And I understand that. However, you just went against what the whole basis of TikTok was, is to lower that bar so people could make it. Well, now you're giving some other people, you're giving them the leg up. Right. Now they have an advantage. You're giving them the advantage. Right. And they're pretty. They've already made it on other platforms. So they have the money. They have the editing and the team. So they have all these things that these regular creators cannot have just starting out. So you've now made that gap bigger again. You have these influencers, then you have the people trying to make it famous by being their regular selves, right? So you've widened that gap again. It used to be everybody was kind of on the same level, and now you just whoop.
How good the content on the app was. And then finally, step 5, nurture relationships. They assigned the top creators account managers who would sometimes even help them with school assignments and relationships.
Yeah, keep them happy. That's something that certain apps don't do. And I'll call some of them out. YouTube is notorious for it. Rumble tries, but Rumble, they get real super tunnel visioned, and they leave some of the creators that are like not huge creators and not nobodies, and they kind of leave them in their dust. Unfortunately, that's just how it works. I understand, there's different reasons for that. I don't know anything about Kick. I don't know anything about Twitch. So those are just the ones I know about. And of course, Facebook, you can't talk to anybody anyway. So anyway, I'm not going to get through this whole video. You guys know that, right?
Relationship issues to make sure the users were able to create lots of content. And thus, ByteDance had done it. Using this strategy in China, Douyin went viral. Of course, plenty of other Chinese companies had tried to copy them. But remember, the more you use ByteDance's apps, the more the algorithm learns about you, which means you get served even better content recommendations, which means you use the app more, and this creates a never-ending cycle of improvements. As a result, very few people wanted to switch to any of these competitor apps that popped up. ByteDance had cracked the code in China.
The devil you know.
They wanted to replicate this success worldwide. In 2017, they officially launched their international version of the app, TikTok. And whilst Zhang Yiming had always been a very ambitious man, even he couldn't have predicted the insanity that was about to begin.
Having an e-commerce.
Okay, so I'm not necessarily going to I'm not going to sit here and talk about, like, let them talk about how he went global and what the different things he did. If you want to see the video, it's going to be in the description. I'm going to skip forward. I believe the next chapter. No, this is, okay, so TikTok versus the world. That's kind of telling you a little bit about how, I know a lot of people are like, the United States was against TikTok. They're not alone. Like I said, it's been banned in India for a while. They don't want it. They don't want anything to do with this app at all. They want nothing to do with it. They don't want anything. Now I'm don't know if it's the truth, but it seems like they don't want anything that has the ability to kind of use people's data in that manner and like get that invasive, because this algorithm is super invasive. So there's the problems of TikTok and then how they make money. Okay. So anyway, and then the conclusion. I'm not going to probably go through the conclusion or the things to share with you. I'll probably do. I'm not going to say how Vine failed, so I'll probably do this chapter here, chapter 4, some of chapter 5, and a little bit of chapter 7. Okay, and then I'll be it. I'm not going to, and then the rest, like I said, please go watch the video. If you haven't noticed, Magnite Media does really good videos. They're very well put together. They're very interesting. They keep you locked in. They know their editing. They know that they can use clips of content all over the world. They can use these little clips of like the movies and stuff, and they can't, they're only using a couple of seconds, and they're using it in context. Fair use, y'all. Y'all understand it. Y'all know what it is. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you. So I'm going to skip ahead to TikTok versus the world. I believe this is talking about how, so TikTok, they went global. It wasn't easy. It's separate from the Chinese. I'm not talking Red Note. I'm talking the app that is TikTok in China, right? That is on their closed internet. Now, the one thing I don't know about Red Note is if Red Note is, I think it's based in, I don't know how it would be based inside of their internet and be able to be used by users unless they're using VPNs or something, right? I don't know. If anybody knows, put it in the comments. So, TikTok versus the world. I hope you guys like this. I love this. I've seen this video, but it's been like a year. And to be honest, this went so far into giving the information that I really wanted. I really appreciated it. And there's other ones on their, go down a rabbit hole. They have great videos.
In 2019, India banned TikTok due
there we go.
to claims of spreading explicit content. Overnight,
it's really amazing. I know that people don't like the thought police, right? People want freedom, so you can push whatever you want. You do know that other countries have limitations on what they consider immoral content and filth. They don't like that, especially very highly religious countries. They don't appreciate it. They don't want it readily accessible to children and to, vulnerable people or just their people in general. They feel like it is a detriment to their society to be immoral and to share explicit things. They don't like it. And I know that, as the United States, sometimes we think that what we want is just how everyone's got to be. But you have to understand that in the United States, sure, but we can't push all of our shit on other people all the time. We've got to stop that. That's what they're trying to do with Red Note. And I made that comment very, very clear in that video,
TikTok lost around 200 million users. Pakistan soon banned them too. TikTok would eventually manage to appeal the decision, only for them to get banned again just a few months later, on the grounds that they were stealing and surreptitiously transmitting users' data outside of the country. But this was just the start of a domino effect, where more and more governments around the world started raising concerns about TikTok.
So you see, it's not just one person, one president, one person at the beginning of this video. It's not just one. This is a global issue. So I know a lot of people really, really, really love to put it on one politician or business, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They want to put it on one person, but it's not. All these other countries have a problem with it too. Just hold that onto that thought for a minute. Not everything is about us as the United States of America. Not everything is about our politics. Sometimes things have to do with other countries and their ethics and their morals and their decisions and their government. Who knew, right? We are not the crux of everything in the whole freaking world. We are not the be all end all. So I like that this is referring to other countries that sincerely had issues. And to be honest, if you notice the dates, before we did.
Specifically, what data is TikTok actually collecting? And what is it doing with that data? Everyone had their own theories on this. A popular Reddit post claimed to have reverse engineered the app and stated it was essentially a data collection service that's thinly veiled as a social network. An iOS update also meant that users would be alerted when an app accesses their clipboard. Soon, videos emerged of TikTok reading almost every bit of info that was copied on someone's device, even if they weren't using the app. The US Secretary of State claimed TikTok was among a number of Chinese apps feeding data directly to the Chinese Communist Party. The US government then opened a national security review of the platform after both a Democrat and Republican lawmaker suggested it posed a serious risk, and that it could be surveillance software for the Chinese government. A senator also described it as a Trojan horse.
Here's the thing, whether they're doing it or not, is it possible that it can be absolutely used in that way? Well, yeah. Can you imagine somebody having eyes in your house at all times? Everything that you touch, click, every time you wipe your nose, every time that you touch a doorknob, every time that you walk, talk, think, breathe, crap, pee, eat, chew, sneeze. You would be like, man, that's really invasive. But we're volunteering it. We're giving it to them. And I'm not saying necessarily that they are using it in a negative way. I'm saying that all it takes is one bad actor. That's it. And all of that data, and it takes one hacker, one whatever, one person with bad intention. You don't tell me there's not millions of bad intention people who would do anything for profit. And you've handed them everything. Everything.
Financial Times reported that ByteDance were trying to circumvent Apple's privacy policies.
The Android version includes code that allows for the downloading of remote zip files, unzips them, and executes the apps inside arbitrarily.
TikTok asks for access to your videos, your photos, your microphone, your camera, and your contacts.
TikTok also collects information about the messages that you send, about the apps that you use, the other apps on your phone. It collects the sites that you visit. It collects your search history. It collects your keystrokes. It collects your location data.
Wait, hold on. Collecting obscene amounts of data is unfortunately a pretty common practice, especially by social media platforms. So why was everyone freaking out? Well, China's national intelligence law requires all companies within its borders to hand over data at its request without the need for a warrant. In fact, the government can literally take ownership of your company if they choose to.
So if they decide that they want to take, let's say that the company is based out of China, like Red Note is, and they say, look, we're going to take everything we've collected. We want it. We want to run that through our AI, algorithms and let it help us insert whatever information they want or, research. It doesn't matter. They can just do it. They don't need a warrant. They don't need warning. They can just do it because that is how it's set up there. Okay?
So yes, most people have accepted big tech have loads of our data. But the idea of the Chinese government having all of our personal data seems more worrying, especially given how much data TikTok collects.
So what if I told you that I was going to hand over all of your personal data to, I don't know, the Taliban? I'm going to hand them your data and they can do whatever they want with it, including GPS and your movements and your daily schedule and every note you've ever taken, every comment you've ever made. I'm going to hand it to them and they can do with that whatever they want with it. How would you feel if I said I'm going to hand it to them myself? Now, mind you, it's buried within millions of other people's data. But on the flip side, I'm handing yours, your information, your email, your passwords, everything you've clicked, all of the banking information that you type into your phone all the time. Would you be happy with that? Would you be okay with that? So this is why people are upset that the government basically is like, well, yeah, we're going to take whatever we want. And they don't like that. And it's understandable. Now, do we sign up and say, sure, take all my stuff? In fact, people are posting, I don't care about my data. I'm going to then learn Mandarin and go on to this app because screw you for telling me I can't. How dare you try to protect my data? I don't care. Because, you know, we're all super smart content creator peoples out here in these streets.
Every bit and byte of data that TikTok collects is under the scope of China's intelligence law. Maybe that's why it's getting banned from the U.S. Armed Services and why Reddit's CEO recently claimed that it was fundamentally parasitic.
Now, do I think that the CEO of Reddit necessarily is going to sway my opinion? No.
But again, let's hold up. You are charged and fail. This is one side of the story. Here's the other side of the story. TikTok have repeatedly stated that they are not a Chinese company. Yes, ByteDance, the parent company, is, but they created a whole separate app and company for TikTok that's not based in China and thus not under their rules. TikTok state they have never given data to the Chinese government and never will.
But ByteDance is. So if I were to say that Optum is under United Healthcare, which it is, and that Optum and all of Optum's services are separate from United Healthcare, but they have to answer to United Healthcare. They have to meet United Healthcare's security protocols, all of their training, all of their everything. And whenever there's a town hall for United Healthcare, they have to show up. But they're separate. They're not based in the same location. They have a different building. They have different CFO, you know, CEO. But the parent company is United Healthcare. Would you say that it's the same thing? Do you see what I'm saying? Like in a parallel. I like that they're saying the opposite side of it, though. And of course, I do understand that all these other apps do it. I say it over and over, and I've said it over and over tonight. We agree to this, and I talk about this all the time. They do these things. I'm not saying this particular person, this particular app. I'm saying in general, they test the waters. Well, we're not quite ready for that yet. We're not quite ready for that yet. We're not quite ready for, like, you know, to get into an Uber driven by nobody. We're not quite ready. We're not really there yet. We're not there yet. You know, but they've tested and they test and they test. And at some point, something is going to normalize that behavior. And from there forward, we're going to be okay with it. That's just how that works. And then they're going to go balls to the wall and they're going to go full in on it. I am boiling. I'm going to take this off in a minute. So anyway, I'm going to skip a little bit around because this is getting a little bit like I don't necessarily, you get the gist of what they're saying.
It could also be argued that everything going on with countries banning and threatening TikTok wasn't really about TikTok. This was about the rise of China. TikTok was unfairly called.
So they're basically saying that it was more about trying to limit the accessibility that China has versus, and TikTok was just kind of the fall guy. I can see that side of it too. I can see both sides. I can see all the sides.
Caught in as a pawn, and that's because their surveillance for the Chinese. Many of the accusations are.
So there's a lot of blatant accusations. Some of them are a bit stretched out. Some could be true in a really crazy villainous movie, right? Secret agent movie. It could totally be the premise of it. I get that. Like, and we all understand that. I'm more interested in kind of how the algorithm and how it affects us and stuff like that, which is one of the things that I really, really, really wanted to talk about, which is I'm wanting you guys to see the gist of the video, but you guys can watch all the missing pieces yourself. You're more than welcome to, and I encourage you to because it's a really great video.
I talk about it's been thought.
An algorithm designed to give people more of what they want sounds great in theory, until you really stop to think about it. For example, what happens when a pedophile...
Oh, come on. You had to say that?
...joins the app, and what they want to see is underage girls dancing provocatively.
If you're looking at a lot of kids dancing sexually, it's going to give you more kids dancing sexually.
Here's a video showing a young girl in class on the floor in her school uniform. It's attracted hundreds of comments, mainly from much older men.
A lot of the accounts he followed were mostly young girls. I saw that there was one as young as 7 there.
Now, it's worth acknowledging TikTok are not alone in these issues. YouTube had a predator scandal of its own due to its recommendation algorithm, where old men would be watching clips of young children on YouTube, so the algorithm recommends them more of that content.
Because it's algorithm based. Like I said.
Worse still, they would link each other to certain videos and timestamps in the comments, which led to YouTube having to disable all comments on kids' videos. But with TikTok, the problems were exactly...
Did you know that's why they did that for kids' videos? That's why they disabled the comments, because they would use code to let people know that this was a video they'd want to watch, wink, wink. And they would use hashtags in like certain words so that they could search for those specific words and stuff. And it would hit that algorithm, and then those people could see these videos and all that stuff.
Exacerbated further by the fact you can privately message users. Plus the fact that around 1 in 4 users of TikTok are believed to be under 17. On
I believe it.
Note,
Easy.
TikTok have already paid millions of dollars to authorities for knowingly collecting private info about children without parental consent. They also had to pay out many more.
Okay. I'm not saying that they're okay. I'm not saying that they don't deserve to pay for lack of, for the children's information. I understand that. Let me just be very, very clear. And this is my opinion. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I believe this from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it clearly. I'm going to make myself big so I can say it very clearly. If you are allowing your children to be on these apps, you are giving your consent. You know what they are. You know what they can do. And if you don't, that is your fault as a parent. You are failing. You are failing. If you don't understand the limitations and the scope of what these apps can do, your child should not be on it. It's really that simple. Be a better fucking parent. Are kids going to jump on when they're not supposed to? Sure. Kids can be sneaky as hell, and peer pressure is a bitch. I get it. But if you're not willing to screen and monitor and watch what your children are doing, and you just hand them a phone and you say, well, just don't do anything stupid. It's your fault. It's your fault. And you're a shit parent. I don't care. People can get mad at me for that all they want. I'll probably clip that up and make it into a short. Say something. I dare you. Like, I don't care. Be a better fucking person. Be a better parent. Stop using this stuff to get away with not paying attention to your fucking kids. You know? Anyway.
More millions when some data got leaked, including private details about children as young as 6 years old.
Why is a 6-year-old on the fucking app?
TikTok's predator problem is merely one example of how their powerful algorithm can send people, often young kids, down incredibly dark rabbit holes. A second example is how easily kids can be exposed to disturbing videos. For example, this reporter set up a brand new TikTok account pretending to be a 13-year-old. She didn't like or follow anything, and yet before long,
The app showed me this clip of a confrontation in the street. I lingered on the video, but didn't press like.
Lingered on the video, because remember, this algorithm tracks how long you are actively have that video in your screen. So even if you go to scroll past it, but you kind of pause because you're like, wait a minute, what was that? Oh, okay, never mind. And you swipe. You don't have to like it. You don't have to comment. You don't have to go to the profile. You hovered over it. It knows.
All along, I was being fed a stream of videos of people screaming profanities, a violent assault, and a young man lying bloodied in the street.
And TikTok thinks I'm 13.
A third example of a dangerous rabbit hole is depressive content.
This is a big one, y'all.
If the algorithm realizes that what you engage with most is sad videos, your feed will become increasingly dark and depressing. In fact, one report found that within just half an hour, 93% of videos you get shown will be depression related, if those are the type of videos you engage with most.
So here's the thing. So remember, it's an algorithm. There's no, an algorithm's not going to say, this might not be the best kind of content to show somebody who's depressed. It says they're clicking and they're watching it. There's no care or concern or emotional connection to any of it. They don't care. We're just going to put more stuff that's kind of in the same realm.
In TikTok's defense, the algorithm is simply trying to give the user the content it engages with the most, that keeps them on the platform the longest. It's not deliberately doing anything bad. But if you're already depressed, you probably would linger on the sad videos, which means you'll get sadder and sadder content.
When I'm sad, I stay off social media.
The bleakest and darkest corners of TikTok, a lot of which is totally unmoderated, including videos encouraging suicide. Even within
I am so gonna have to edit this fucking video.
Popular viral TikToks, there have been multiple challenges promoting something dangerous.
Stupid TikTok Benadryl overdose challenge. Somebody's died from this already.
Another example.
We've all heard about the challenges that are just absolutely disgusting, and people do. And I don't know. I feel like I don't want to limit people from being online necessarily. I do believe in free speech within reason. I feel like if you've proven that you're a fucking idiot, then maybe you should like get a timeout. I don't know. Don't be an idiot online. Don't be stupid. And if you're too stupid to understand that something's against common sense, then why are I don't know.
Is the promotion of completely unsafe products. One girl who struggled with an eating disorder found that her feed was filled with videos advertising unregulated weight loss pills and harmful crash diet.
I get that stuff all the time. I constantly get diet stuff, which is super, super encouraging.
When she made a video calling TikTok out for allowing this content, her post got deleted.
Because I said this app is promoting eating disorders.
Which brings us to yet another issue some people have with TikTok: censorship. Moderators on TikTok were told to restrict or shadow ban videos from users who appeared ugly, poor, or disabled. Restrict or shadow ban videos from users who appeared ugly, poor, or disabled. For example, their moderation guidelines said to restrict content from people who were chubby, having Down syndrome, or simply posting in a poor or dilapidated location. A spokesperson later said this was to try and prevent cyberbullying. Although others have argued that TikTok was simply trying to get content on their platform they felt was more desirable. The people behind the algorithm have godlike powers when it comes to controlling what TikTok's billions of users actually get to see. Another example of TikTok controlling the type of content on its platform came when The Guardian uncovered that TikTok was restricting content relating to the independence of Tibet and Taiwan, along with subjects like the Tiananmen Square protests.
So if they're not regulated by the government, and that's like, oh, that's not an issue, oh, stop saying that's an issue, then how are they held to these standards where they have to censor certain things? I don't understand it. I get it. I mean, it is what it is. These are just information. You do with it what you want. Decide what you want. What's up, Truth?
In other words, TikTok censors videos that they know won't please the Chinese government. Some say this is to try and advance China's foreign policy aims. But the most likely reality is ByteDance simply don't want to annoy the Chinese government anymore.
They don't want to piss them off. Because ultimately, the company is located there. TikTok is not, but ByteDance is, right? So, Felix, get down. Seriously? Like, I don't know how many times I have to get you down for you to realize you're not supposed to be up here. Get down.
Further,
I'm not going to watch too much more of this.
Popular apps. The truth is, TikTok can't really win here.
Yeah.
Some think TikTok is stifling free speech, especially since they announced plans to hire thousands more employees to their censorship and moderation teams. But on the other side, other people feel TikTok is not doing enough to control what gets posted, and that they have a big problem with misinformation.
So there's a whole back and forth, and I'm not going to go too much further in this video. There's a bunch that has to be, obviously they have quite a bit left. If you want to go finish the video, please go finish the video. I don't think I can stay on here for like another hour. It's already been an hour, and watch more of the video. I would suggest you go watch it. It's a really good one. But here's the thing. The bottom line is that you can't have it both ways. You can't have people just the people you don't like what they're saying to shut up, and then only people that you like what they're saying get to talk. Like, that's not a thing. people like it to be a thing that is, you know, very biased, and it's not okay. And it's funny because people only notice it when it's happening to you, when your opinion isn't the popular opinion and you're getting shut down for it. And, you know, then you start noticing that it's very, you know, centric around that opinion that other people don't agree with, or that one side, I say one side or the other. I'm not talking necessarily political. I'm talking opinions of any sort, way, shape, or form. So people that want free speech, you know, free speech is free speech is free speech. Just because you want to be able to say what you want to say, you can't say, I get to say what I want to say, but you can't. And see, that hypocrisy is what's been happening a lot. A lot of people, and I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of people on the very, very far right, they want freedom of speech, but then they don't really want freedom of speech. They want freedom of their speech, but they want other people to be quiet. So you can't have it both ways. And a lot of people think you can. So the difference is that they are manipulating and abusing the power of them, like the moderators, to blatantly keep away content that they decide fits into certain check boxes. I think that's gross. I don't like it. Probably because I wouldn't probably pass a lot of those check boxes. But still, do you know, I'm like, well, that's why none of my videos do it. I don't really care, but still. I'm just saying, like, I think that I've heard stories in the past about how they were specifically targeting specific content creators that they like, the moderator team, and they were promoting those content creators on the feeds to hit the algorithm more often, which, again, like I said, that they already destroyed themselves by paying big content creators from other platforms to come over and make really like curated content. It's kind of the same thing. They're manipulating it by deciding what you get to see. And that low bar that everybody's so excited about is really not as low as you think it is. I don't know. There's a lot to be said about it. My point is I wanted it to be very, very clear that there is more to the story than TikTok bad. You know, like, it's not just that. And a lot of people like to dumb it down on both sides. They like to dumb it down because the simplistic version is easy to argue about. It's easy to say, no, it's not. Yes, it is. And then you argue why, yes, it is. You don't have to actually say anything. You just say, you know, sharing data bad. And then the other side says, you know, stop censorship. Well, that's not true. Everybody censors. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. It's when you dive into it, it's a little bit more nuanced. It's a little bit deeper than that. There's a lot more to it. It's not all about us. Sometimes these international companies, y'all, have international implications and repercussions coming from all sides. It is what it is. So I hope that gave you some of the insight into the algorithm and just how quite literally you touch something and it knows. You move your phone and it knows. So all of those cool little all those cool little gadgets that your phone has that tells you if you're moving or not, that if you pick it up, it sees your face. All of those little things can be at some point used in order to feed you content. And it's kind of gross that everything that you do is used to feed content, and the entire purpose of feeding you content is to get you ads. The entire purpose of getting ads is for them to make money. Not you, not me, them. Billions and billions out of all of those companies that they said at the beginning. It doesn't even come close. I've been talking too long. My throat's getting sore. But it doesn't even come close to show how much money that they're making. It's astronomical numbers. It's wild. It's wild. And if you threaten anyone that is bracking in billions of dollars, it's not going to go well. That's where people have issues. That's where people have spy movie themes where they're running from this, that, or the other. Just insert corporate, what is it called? Hitmen and stuff like that. It's a thing. It happens. And people think it doesn't. So whether you believe it or not, you could go down every single rabbit hole. I suggest you go watch that video, finish the rest of it, get all and go down their whole list because I've watched so many of their videos. They have the truth behind McDonald's. They have the truth behind Netflix, the truth behind like Instagram, all these different videos that are really cool. And so I just suggest you go down that rabbit hole. I'm not going to go down it again because I'm tired. I'm hot. I should have taken the sweatshirt off. And my throat is dry now that I'm talking too much. Anyway, I hope you have a good time. It'll be down in the description somewhere. It'll be under the video somewhere. And hopefully I don't get nailed for them using trigger words. And I hope they don't copyright me. Be nice, fair use. Thank you. I hope. We'll see. Because my mom has been messaging me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I understand it was kind of a long video, and I know I skipped around, but you know what? Guess what? I'm me, and I do things my fucking way. If I want to skip around, I'm gonna skip around. So I hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate everybody hanging out. I'm not gonna stay on for very much longer. Like I said, I can't hardly. Deep Seek's Omni Human is a rabbit hole I want to check out after watching this. If you find anything cool, let me know. If you find anything neat. Hold on. I gotta do it. I can't. I just get redder and redder the longer the evening goes on. I get hotter and hotter. Yep, exactly. Hi, Sherry. How's it going? No, and see, there's a geology. I know what you're talking about. Obviously, I have 2 kids that are now adults and 1 preteen. So I like to think I'm a decent parent. So I keep. Get down, dude. Get down. This is my work computer, and he starts shoving my monitor. I found it completely turned when I got up this morning. But anyway, I do know a lot about some of that stuff. You have to just teach your kids what makes sense and what doesn't. You know, it's that whole argument. If your friends told you to jump off a bridge, would you? You have to teach your kids that they would say no. My necklace is all sorts of screwed up right now. Like, this is supposed to be the front. So now he's on the back of my chair. Oh, wait, I'm going the wrong way. You see him? Yeah, Felix is being a little douche nugget right now. I don't understand why this won't come off. I have very few necklaces. I don't have very much jewelry. I never get jewelry. I don't buy it for myself for the most part. And I don't know where else do people get jewelry if they don't buy it for themselves. I like ones that have. Anyway. At least I got through one video. I'll probably cut it up. Post it sometime this week. It's hot. I like hanging with you guys. And I'm sorry that I'm getting into. I'd like to do some more lighthearted subjects. But there's. I don't know. Let's find some lighthearted stuff. That's my task. How's that? For this week, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if I can find some lighthearted stuff. But geology, I understand what you're saying. I do. And it's the same long game form of, I don't want to say, it's not social engineering, it's social manipulation. It's manipulating kids and their emotions and, just getting them to do what's wanted by, the slow pressure. It's that hacking a human. It's the getting in with them a little bit and getting the trust and then basically holding emotions hostage. It's a whole thing. Kids are very vulnerable, and if the parents aren't paying attention, that's the kind of stuff that can easily happen. And I'm sorry, but the bottom line is that there are exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, about, in my opinion, 80% of a lot of the tragedies that have happened in that regard could have been avoided if somebody had paid attention a little better. I'm doing the whole like, look how red I got now. Oh well. I know that you guys are like, I can see how rich he is. That's all I care about. Not really. I'm just saying, that's my opinion, and that's the thing. I have a very strong opinion about common sense. I feel like I don't know. If you can't do a job properly, right, then you shouldn't necessarily do the job. And if you can't comprehend properly, then you should have to, like, I don't know. I don't have the intelligence to think of a way to do it to prevent dumbasses from posting on social media. Like I said, we've lowered the bar so far that we have trash content where nobody actually has to come up with original themes and context. And when people do, people rip it apart because they're either mad or jealous or they disagree. And I think it was Ren that posted something or I saw it today, that he talks about hate in the comments. And he said, 10 years ago, artists basically, I'm going to paraphrase it. It's not exactly what he said. They said basically, people showed up to your concert because they liked your music, then they did. And if they didn't show up to your concert, no harm, no foul, right? But now we've given haters a platform to shit on people, and it can tear you down. Everybody's like, oh, well, I just like to support. Well, people like to shit on people. Some people get off on shitting on other people. It's just a thing, and it's pathetic, and it's disgusting. Do I think they should have any opinion? Do I think that if you can't say anything nice, shut the fuck up? Yeah, shut up. Nobody needs to know that you disagree with everything and that you're going to be nasty. My favorite is under reaction channels when someone will watch the video and then make assumptions. And some of these guys are my friends, my close, and with females too. They're my very close friends. Some of them are. And I know way more than people think I know about a lot of things. And so it just makes me laugh sometimes when people are like, they make little offhanded comments like, got him. And I'm like, if you only knew the truth, you would feel so stupid. So stupid. But, I'm not going to sit there and rub their face in it. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to give away, the trust that I've earned and the information that I have. I'm just going to sit back and just shake my head. And unfortunately, it does build up and it makes me kind of a bitch. So a lot of that, me acting that way, is built up from seeing people treat my friends like trash because why? They want to feel like a big boy on the internet. It really makes me mad. It makes me mad, like how people are so entitled. They think that these content creators owe them anything, ever. It just pisses me off because I watch it and I watch the filth that comes out of people's mouths. And what kills me is when people go in, for example, I'll use a perfect example, Tom's live streams. If you guys have been in there, I moderate for Tom. And there's thousands of people, and at some points I've been in there when there's 5,000, and sometimes there's been 1,000, 1,500. The level of spam is wild. First off, you have the super fans who are copy pasting. Hi Tom, look at me. 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 Hi Tom, I'm from Mississippi. I love you. Look at me. Hi Tom, I'm from Mississippi. Look at me. Hi Tom, I'm from Mississippi. Look at me. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, and I just want to strangle them. Stop. Like fucking stop. Okay. Then you have the haters. You're trash. You're trash. You're trash. You suck. You're trash. You're trash. Then they copy paste it 15 times and it's a paragraph that big. You're trash. You're trash. Every like 50 or 5 seconds. You're trash. You're trash. You're trash. You suck. You suck. You suck. You're a sellout. Blah, blah, blah. On and on and on and on and on. the hate and the pick me is just so thick. It's so thick. It's a smaller scale for some of my other friends, but that is a perfect example of just like the extreme it can go to, even on a smaller scale. People jump in. I mean, I was just in Truth Live yesterday. People jump in and they're like, do this. You've seen me make reels about it where I'm like, it just blows my mind. It irritates the shit out of me that people think that anyone owes them anything. And that they just go in and they say, or people go to Headshot Chicks live stream and they're like, I want V-Bucks. Okay. Like, thanks for telling me. Like, why? Don't say hi, nothing. They just go in and they say, react to this. Do that. Dance monkey. Like, what? And then you say, oh, well, you know what? It costs, this is a donation. This is a paid stream. How could you? You assholes. You pieces of shit. How could you charge? It should be free. I can't afford that. Okay, then you can't afford it. Then you just sit back and watch the entertainment. Seriously, bro? Then just watch the entertainment. You don't have to be there. It's not required. No one told you had to show up. You're appreciated. If I had my way, people that were over demanding and assholes, I'd get rid of them because that pisses me off. But you have to understand it's built up from years of seeing it and years of seeing my friends being treated like crap for no fucking reason. Knowing what goes on behind the scenes, knowing how stressful it is, knowing how hard it is to be live all the time, how much time it takes away from your family, from your life, from just spending time relaxing. You can't even do that. I could make content. I could be making content. I could be making thumbnails. I could be editing. I could be going live. I could be, supporting my, fellow content creators. I could be jumping in their live streams and saying hello, but I don't want to because I don't want to feel like obligated to stay because I don't have time. It's a never ending thing. Once you're a content creator, the consumption of content changes a lot. It's just allowing people to have access and to spew all the bullshit that they do. Like I said, it's a hypocritical situation. No side wants to hear what the other one has to say. They only want to hear what they were saying. You think I want somebody to come on here and be like, well, you're full of shit. I don't agree with the thing you say. I would like to think I would say, okay, like, all right, that's nice. I don't want to suppress anyone that disagrees with me, but a lot of people do. It's just like, I'll use an example. The far right likes to say, there's a lot of, LGBTQRS, I don't know all the letters. There's a lot of them that, there's a lot of things that are posted that should not be posted publicly. It should not be in front of this, that, and the other. We shouldn't have to see it. But then on the flip side, they want to be able to say whatever they want moral wise. I don't agree. I think that people can be who they're going to be. I just don't necessarily, if I don't want to see it, I should have the option to opt out. I'm all for opting out. Like if I don't want to participate or be in the middle, I shouldn't have to. That's the difference, I think. The far right and the far left like to, what they want should be how it is. I feel like you should be able to opt out of the things that you just aren't interested in. And here's the thing, I'm not here to convince anyone of anything. That's the big difference, I feel. I hope you walk away from any content that I ever make, ever, and say, okay, agree, disagree, whatever it takes, whatever works. But I hope that at some point you say, well, I can see where you're coming from, or well, I didn't think of it that way. I still don't agree, but okay. And walk away, and that's that, right? I hope. I have no interest in convincing anyone of anything. I have no intention of convincing anyone of anything. I'm not trying to give anybody a perspective and say, you're wrong, I'm right. None of that. There's only few instances where I will say that, which is like the parenting thing, common sense thing. There's some things I stand firm on, and I will say it very publicly. I will say it very loudly. Other than that, believe what the fuck you want. I don't care. Does that make sense? Like, I will never try to convince you. I don't need to. I know what I believe. I know what I know. And if I don't know, then I can go look it up. And I'd like to share some of that knowledge with you guys. If you don't agree with me or don't believe me, that's fine. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a big difference between some people approach every piece of content as you have to agree with me or else. Do you see this? How many times has he jumped up? He won't stop. He will not stop. That's why I shut him out. But I do have to get off here. My daughter is trying to get my attention. And she deserves it as my kid. I love her. And she slept half the day away. So I need to go see what she needs. And I might have to get some ice cream or something. But I'm going to bed in an hour. So, because I have to get up and work in the morning. I hope you guys had a good night. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you like always. I'm sorry I went down one rabbit hole instead of 5 like I intended. But such is life. That's how it goes. Anyway. I love you guys. I hope you have a good night. I hope you had a good weekend. And if you need me, you know how to reach me. You know, you can always drop a comment, or you can just hit me up on Discord or hit me up on Instagram. Most of you guys have a direct line to talk to me if you need to. And not everybody, but a select few have my phone number. And in a pinch, if you need someone to talk to, I'm here. So, do you. Be good to each other. Be nice. Be kind. It's free. Why not? Unless somebody pisses you off because they're being an idiot. And then just, like, give them a look. A screenshot. I can do that, actually. I'm going to post that in Discord. It's just going to be in my profile. I have those screenshots. Look, I want to prove to you that I did it. Watch. I'm going to show you. I promise. So all the guys that are following me on Threads that are like, boo baby, hey baby, I'll be like, hi. On that note, I'm out of here. I love you guys. I gotta go. Bye.